One of the many advantages of technology is the enhanced perspective it offers us of the world. Thanks to cutting-edge advancements like drone technology, we're able to capture some of the most captivating and, at times, downright bizarre moments that we may have otherwise missed. In this video, we'll take a look at 6 peculiar drone footage clips that were made possible by this very technology. Get ready to witness some truly unique and previously unseen sights with us. Number 6. Are aliens real? If there's anything that scientists have contemplated for what seems like forever, it's the existence of extraterrestrial life forces, what we would call the aliens. There have been a lot of theories and findings that surround the existence of aliens. However, for some, they've not been significant enough to hold a valid argument. However, a drone would capture something that looks like an unidentified flying object or UFO that can be traced to be an alien ship. This UFO was spotted by a Predator combat drone that was making its regular run. The drone would stumble upon what seemed like a UFO. That was almost as fast as the speed of light. When the object was critically scrutinized, concerns would be raised as to the identity of the object. The object leaves behind a large string of light, which was identified as a blast. When scientists were quizzed about the footage, they then dismissed it on the grounds that they had no other video to corroborate the footage. The speed of the object made it very hard for anything significant to be studied from it, although the footage would be debunked as a hoax by some. A lot of conspiracy theorists began to purport that a classified science project done on actual aliens was already at play in America. And while it might be wonderful to know that we're not alone in the universe, it also pays to know that we don't have an advanced species on Mars that may begin waging war against the people on Earth anytime soon. Number 5. Police drone detective. Drones were initially developed as surveillance systems, although they've come to be used to capture any kind of event. They were invented to beef up security and to help with field investigations in areas that may have been considered lethal. The next video shows how effective that drone technology can be at policing, and investigating this astonishing footage gives a clear and rather funny moment that a murder suspect was apprehended by a drone. The amazing thing about the footage is that the man was caught in his home and was forced to surrender, not by gun or any form of close cornering, but just by a remotely manned robot with a camera. The drone would be employed to arrest the suspect in the murder of a renowned actor, Thomas Jefferson Byrd. The modern technology was used to seek justice for the actor and his family, and the footage is extremely fascinating. Thomas Jefferson Byrd is one of the prominent actors of the early 1990s, starring in several Spike Lee movies alongside with major actors like Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington amongst. The 70-year-old would be found dead in his apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, on the 3rd of October, 2020 after being shot multiple times. The drone footage was then uploaded on Twitter, showing how the suspect surrenders willy-nilly to the drone. The robot was able to enter the suspect's apartment after the door was blown open by police, and it goes through different sections of the home until the man decides to give up to the drone. Maybe he just thought that the drone was armed. This surveillance technology was able to arrest a murder suspect that may have been armed and dangerous. And not only did it save many lives, but it also prevented a gunfight that would have led to a loss of property and acute vandalization. Number 4. Bigfoot or Not. The drone is a remotely controlled robot with a camera attached to it, used for surveillance and sometimes to capture events in a crowded place. The beautiful thing about drones is that they can capture the tiniest of details that may elude a regular camera. One of these tiny details is what may or may not be Bigfoot captured in Southport Park, Ohio. A Bigfoot is a supposed ape-like creature, is said to inhabit the forests of North America. This creature is also called the Sasquatch and has been the product of fairy tales and cartoons, although archaeological findings are substantiating their existence. This creature was purportedly captured by a drone camera in Southport Park, Ohio, and the 5 minutes long footage began as a normal recording of the forest. But things weren't about to change. One of the many gifts of the Bigfoot, apart from its extremely humongous size, is its speed and agility, despite its hair and its big feet, making it nearly impossible for anyone or any gadgets to spot it clearly. However, the clip proceeds to show us what looked like the Bigfoot swiftly cutting across the drone footage shows how fast the creature ran to avoid being seen. Apparently, it was oblivious to the camera above the forest. Although locals have affirmed the video as being true, the General Committee of Scientists and Archaeologists have not yet had enough reasons to accept the existence of Bigfoot. They see the video as a blurry view of an unidentifiable creature, concluding that it could have been any other creature and not the fairy tale Sasquatch. Number 3. Dinner Drone. Naturally, the sky belongs to the birds and other flying creature, things with wings and such. Drones are relatively small robots that may be mistaken for food or by predator birds. In this footage, drones are attacked by predator birds, and these birds see the robots as their next meal and such, and bring the machine down with one fell swoop. Although other larger birds do attack drones because of the noise that they make, while they can tolerate other cameras, the drone is a flying camera that makes funny noises with its fans. The robot is attacked and brought down by the birds in the footage, not because they're hungry, but because of the noise that they make. Number 2. The Alien Mark. Not a whole lot of evidence has been found as to the existence of aliens. However, the YouTuber Run Gungriff, who is also a drone enthusiast, shows the world what has now come to be called the Mark of the Aliens. This is a very weird and fascinating sight indeed. This footage would be taken in a remote location in America. The exact location of this marvelous discovery has not been disclosed, but we can see how magnificent the markings are, as though it were made by an expert artist. The drone captures the Run Griff in the middle of what looks like a cornfield, but this is not a regular cornfield. It has what looks like some of the weirdest cult signs ever recorded. The most amazing and absolutely weird thing about this marking is that they're carved precisely in terms of symmetry and measurement. No human would have such patience to carve a curve field with as much precision as the one in this footage. When the video would be released, it went viral with a lot of religious faithful claiming that the markings were a premonition of some sort. While others, those who believed in the existence of aliens, asserted that the markings were made at the bottom region of an alien spaceship. Whatever it is, the fact remains that this is both weird and artistically appealing. Number 1. Witch sighting the black-eyed child. Witches may not be real to you, but they exist in the heart of every city. Take New Orleans, for example, and some parts of Asia and Africa. This footage further proves the existence of these superhuman beings known as witches and wizards. A drone footage was caught by another curious YouTuber, supposedly looking for content to upload to his audience. The drone went through the woods, not sighting anything spectacular. That was until some moments later when it found a creature dressed entirely in white. Now this may be weird in the instant, seeing a creature in the middle of nowhere clad in white. But things became more creepy when the drone moved in a little to reveal a very scary-looking witch, popularly known as the black-eyed child, trying to perform some kind of ritual. There was no blood or any other paraphernalia that signified that the witch was carrying out a blood sacrifice, but it was creepy all the same. The YouTuber would not allow his drone to linger on that scene for far too long, as the individual had been alerted to the presence of it flying there. Many more moments in the air, and that may have incited the witch to lay curses on the YouTuber, or even worse, destroy his expensive drone. Thanks for watching.